Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So a slightly different video from me today. I not too long ago picked up the Kosas Airbrow, but in the shade medium. So I had the clear one, loved it, and I've been kind of wanting to get a tinted one for those days where I don't want to fill in my brows, just add a bit more colour to them. I thought in today's video, now I'll be honest, the brows are probably my least favourite thing to do out of all the makeup steps, but if I'm doing a look, I will always do my brows because I feel like it does actually pull a look together. It can help shape the eyes. I think they're quite crucial to a makeup look, but it's just one of my, no, I don't hate it, but it's not one of my favourite steps to do. I love doing the skin, I love doing eyes, deciding what lips I'm going to pair with the kind of overall look, and brows are just like a, yep, I'll pop them on because I need them to be on to kind of complete the look sort of thing. But like the products I use, I absolutely love. It's just my least favourite step to do. But I thought I'd show you this in action, but also my brow routine in case you were interested. I keep it quite quick, quite simple, just to add some shape to the brows, add some colour to the brows, and kind of complete a look basically. Let me know what your kind of favourite step is in makeup and what your kind of not so favourite step is in makeup. But yeah, so what I will do first is I will show you what this looks like on my brows by itself, and then I'll kind of show you the proper routine on the other brow. So I'll do a demonstrate on this brow. So yeah, I've got it in the shade medium. I think I prefer the packaging of the clear one. It was a bit more fun, but yeah, they did quite a few different shades, so that's good. So yeah, exact same wand, a fair amount of product in there I'd say as well. Okay, so what I typically do is I actually start halfway through the brow, just because I'm always worried with tinted stuff that I'm going to accidentally picked up too much product. But actually the stopper in it is pretty good for catching excess product. So what I do is I just kind of go through the brows a couple of times. So this is like my routine if I'm just using the brow gel. So I'll go through a couple of times just to kind of coat them, add some warmth to the brow. So yeah, I kind of did the majority of the coat in the end of the brow, and then what's left over I'll go to the front just to make that bit a little bit lighter. And then what I do is once I've coated them a few times, and then just shape the arch. But that is all I'll do on a day-to-day basis, and I do feel like it's definitely given a fuller effect and does add a bit more colour and a bit more warmth to the brow. I've got very cool tone brows, and sometimes with them having nothing on, they can almost look a bit more grey. So it's just add a bit of warmth to the eye to kind of complement my hair shade. This isn't the product, this is the freckle right here, just so I point out. But yeah, that is all I'll do on a day-to-day basis. I start with the middle of the brow to get the majority of the product there, go through a few times, coat the the inner portion, and then I'll use the last kind of strokes to kind of shape the brow in place. But I don't mind if it's not too shaped. I will just do the tail, but the rest I'm kind of happy with. So that's what I tend to do for just a day-to-day brow, and I do think it definitely makes a difference in making them all stand out a bit more and helps keep them in place, because this stuff does actually hold brows really well. Okay, so on to when I'm doing a bit more of a full face of makeup, the brow routine that I do. I actually typically use the powder first. I do prefer powder with a little angled brush in comparison to pencils. I find pencils slightly tricky to work with. I find you need to have a slightly lighter hand to prevent those kind of marks you can get, or residue. And I think there's also, you can either sharpen them too much, they're too sharp and too hard, or they get too soft and you kind of get fat strokes. So I find I don't mind pencil, but I do prefer powder. Right. So this is my favourite brush to use for the eyebrows. This is a Luxie one. The name's rubbed off. Oh, it's the 215 small angle brush. This, or if this is like been washed, this one's another favourite. This is a Real Techniques brush, and actually it is probably slightly easier to use because it's got the bend, but this is my go-to and I use all the time. But these are kind of the angled brushes I like to use for brows. Okay, so the colour tends to switch between chocolate and the auburn from the ABH palette, depending on the kind of shade of my hair. At the moment it's more brown as is hint of red. I kind of do want to go maybe a bit back to a slight auburn reddy shade for autumn. I'm not sure yet, but for today I'm going to use chocolate. And what I tend to do is initially I will kind of use my brush and I'll just go right in the middle, so I'll pick up a bit of both shades of the light and the dark, tap off, and then what I prefer to start with is the underside or the base of the brow. So I'm going to deposit the most product there, get a nice dark structure to the underneath of the brow. I'm going to be honest, the brows will never look the same for me. No matter how much I try, they're always slightly off. But I think that's alright. Okay, so yeah, I got a bit of a shape going on to underbrow, and then what I'll do is what's still on this brush is I'll then go up in the middle to arch section and feather, or kind of push the product through the brows. Then my next step is to kind of shape the arch. Go through the front of the brow, and then I like to flick out. Something just like that. Now I know the kind of feathery brow trend or brow is very popular at the moment. I do typically like a bit more of a structured brow. A structured brow in terms of shape, but then to really kind of see the brow strokes, which is when this gel will come into hand. But as you can see between the two, this just adds a bit more of a colour to the brow, makes them kind of a bit bolder on the face, and then by using the powder it gives me that much more of a structure. So I do prefer a bit of a structured arch, tail, and then a bit of fluff through the brows. That is my personal preference, but that is all I do in terms of powder. Like I said, I'm someone who prefers to do real quick brows, so I do a couple of dips and kind of mix the two shades together. Start with the lower portion to get my kind of base shape going. Then I go through the middle to arch to build up that colour, drag the tail down to create the shape, and then what is still left on the brush, because obviously it'll be slightly less product, I can then start moving through the front of the brow, and then I just fluff up the front bit. So that is what I typically do when I'm doing like a fuller face of makeup. I will use the powder to kind of really get that shape going. And then the final step now would be, if I'm doing this, I won't do as many layers of the brow product, especially not the tinted one, because I don't want them too much darker. I want them to kind of help make the brow hair stand out, but also just to kind of set them in place. So again, I'm going to start kind of mid-brow to arch, as that will get rid of the most of the product that's on the brush. And then I'll just take what's left and go through the front. Now I do find this holds in place. It's not going to give like the soap brow effect where you really slick it to the face. With the clear one you probably could do that. I probably wouldn't do it with the tinted one, but again, that's not really my preference. I just use it more to set that brow in place and also just bring the hairs back to life. So you can see a big difference between the two brows. This is perfect for me for an everyday look. I'm going for like a no makeup, and then I've got the kind of bit more statement brow for when I'm doing a fuller look. But that's as quick as I do it. I don't take my time over it. It's not my favourite step. I love the products I use, and I think they work really well. It's just in terms of an overall step in my makeup routine, it's not my favourite. So I'm just going to quickly go and match the other brow now to this brow, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so that's both brows done. Like I said, I can never get them perfectly even. What I would recommend, especially with tinted one, is doing the powder first before the gel. It doesn't quite work as well doing the gel first because it does set, and I find it harder to manipulate the powder, so I prefer doing powder than the gel if I'm going to do both. But that is what my brows look like. This is a style I like, I think it suits me, and it's just really quick and easy for me. So yeah, this is what we're left with. I say mine, I kind of do mine a medium thickness. I don't think they're too thin, but I also don't think they're super thick either. This is just kind of the level I prefer to go with. So I kind of hope you enjoyed that video. Like I said, it's a weird concept, kind of probably weird video for me to do. As I said, it's not my favourite step, but I love the products. I will always do my brows in some form because I do think it really helps shape the face, shape the eyes, help complete a look. So I think it's essential. I just don't find this exciting to do as the other parts of my routine. But yeah, this is the finished brows. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what products you like to use, what your technique is, what your kind of style you prefer with your brows as well, because I'll be intrigued to know. And yeah, if you've got any future requests, please leave them down below, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.